So after watching this video, you should be able to confidently EQ any sound, and any Instagram or TikTok video you see that says, oh, you should reduce around like 500 hertz on a vocal to reduce the mud, or oh, you should always boost this area on the drums. Those are all complete bullshit. What I'm going to talk about in this video is an actual framework to approach the EQ of any sound. There's no such thing as a magic EQ curve that sounds good on every snare drum. Like, every sound is different. So as an example, we're going to use the lead sound that comes in the drop of this track. So listen to the lead sound.
Running, falling down, hoping you will save me. Running, falling down, hoping you'll save me now.
This is the sound we're going to be EQing. And this is a track I mixed for the artist Ludentis. It's called Save Me Now, and I'll put the Spotify link down below if you want to check it out. So the first thing you want to do when EQing any sound is actually not a technical thing. It's just to listen to the sound in the context of the full track and figure out what feeling you want out of that sound, and try to figure out what feeling is missing from that sound that you want to add to it. Like, I really want this sound to cut through and sound almost like sharp, cutting through the mix, and I'm not getting that feeling from the sound yet. Then after figuring out that feeling I want from it, I don't just have to rely on that feeling, I can double check it with a good reference track. So if we listen to this Calvin Harris reference that has a kind of similar lead sound. So if I'm checking out this track on a frequency analyzer, I can see this lead sound is peaking pretty high. It's peaking all the way up here, above the rest of the track. So it's nice and bright and it's cutting through. You can even see in the very high end, those frequencies in this lead sound are cutting through. Then I'll just check that against the lead in our track. And you can immediately see, like, all those bright frequencies that were in the reference, they're not showing up here in our mix. Like, there's a lot of room to make the sound cut through more and be a lot brighter in the mix. So just lead with the feeling and emotion you want, and then double check that with a good reference, and now we can actually EQ this sound. So you generally don't want to EQ just with the sound in solo. You want to listen to it in the context of the mix. And now, obviously, the first thing we know we're going to do is test out what it sounds like if we make it a lot brighter. And then we can always bypass this on and off to see how it's feeling in the mix. This is obviously a huge boost, but it's just a starting point. I am hearing some annoying frequencies that are also getting boosted that I'm going to want to turn down. But for now, I also just want to control the lower mid frequencies a little bit because it's sounding a little muddy down there. So I'm gonna go Option Shift double click just to open up a spectral EQ band here. And that way we can just only turn down the muddiness when it's really poking out too much. That's all I really wanted to do down there, but now let's get to these annoying frequencies I'm hearing. So you'll hear people say that you should take a band and boost it a lot to find the annoying frequencies. The only problem with that is every frequency sounds annoying when you boost it by that much. So I actually like to do the opposite and do something I call the bypass method. And that would be to take a band and actually reduce a certain area and then see if that's the area that was causing the problems by bypassing it on and off. So I'm gonna reduce this area and bypass it on and off. Now I do think that reducing that area is helping it sound cleaner. It's getting rid of some of those annoying frequencies that I didn't like. But now I'm just gonna let up on this a little bit. I don't want that big of a cut right now. But at the same time, I do think people treat EQ a little too delicately. Like, if you watch some like old mixing legend in $1 million studio, they're just like taking these really wide bands with their analog EQs and boosting it like 0.3 decibels. I mean, with modern tools, like sometimes you actually want to change the tone of a sound a lot. There is a time and a place for subtle EQ moves, but sometimes you can also make aggressive moves and it can sound good. Now, if I listen back to the sound, there's still a couple really annoying frequencies that are bugging me, so I'm gonna check those out. Oh yeah, that was definitely one. I'll boost it so you can hear it. That frequency, and probably this one. Those two are really bugging me. So don't be afraid just to, if there's a frequency you don't want in the sound at all, just to totally get rid of it. Don't be afraid to do that. And I know someone is about to comment below saying you're taking all the life out of the sound by doing that, but taking the life out of the sound would be putting a spectral EQ across the whole thing like this. Something like that is obviously taking all the character out of the sound. But with these EQ cuts, I can just highlight them all. And we can bypass this on and off to see and use our ears to see if it's helping or not. I think it's helping it sound a lot cleaner, but obviously now we need to bypass this on and off in the full mix to hear the difference it's actually making in the context of the whole mix. I also want to mention I have a totally free mastering course that just dropped. I'll link that below. So if you feel like your tracks aren't hitting as hard as other artists, I would definitely check that out. But now let's listen to this EQ curve in the full mix. I mean, that just sounds so much more clear and present to me. It's the main element in the track, so I felt like it needed that lift. And I know this video might seem overly simple, but that's just because EQing isn't rocket science. Like, you just need to decide what feeling you want out of the sound, and then you want to check that with references to make sure your intuition is right or just heading in the right direction. And then you just want to make some EQ curves, test them out, bypass them on and off, and check if it actually helps in the context of the full mix. So thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you next time. Make sure to check out my free mastering course below. Also, happy holidays. I hope everyone's having a great time with family and friends. Peace.
Hoping you'll save me now.